Our particular species of great interest, of course, is Pinus rigida, the pitch pine, and it is very interesting in its own right. But there's a whole host of other plants in here. And what I find of great interest, Dick, behind us here, we see the salt marsh. We have evidence of fire, and here is a marsh. Obviously, with a wetland that close, the fire would have stopped. The fire that made these...
You're playing forest detective. You can actually say, this is the way the fire came. It didn't come from there, it came from here.
The fire burned this side of the tree. The other side is not charred. And no doubt the fire died when it hit the wetlands behind us. It was quenched by the wet soils of the marsh. This is also special for another conifer, though, and I want to mention the other conifer. In addition to pitch pine, you'll see these triangular-shaped conifers behind us. These are Atlantic white cedar. And Atlantic white cedar is today a very rare plant. The cedar was so terrific for making house shingles that it was pretty much harvested almost to extinction on Long Island by the colonial settlers.
Because it handles weather as well as it does.
And it weathers beautifully. It's great for fence posts. So it was cut heavily. But it was rare to begin with. It had a narrow range. And in this forest transition, you'll actually see the pitch pines are in the uplands, and between here and the marsh, you see a narrow band where the Atlantic white cedars come in. They exist where the water is still fresh, but beginning to be brackish, meaning it has some salt in it. And they exist in that narrow brackish to fresh boundary. That is the boundary between where the fresh water oozes out of the Pine Barrens soils and enters into the ocean. That's salt water, that's ocean. This is uplands.
This is fresh.
And the boundary between the two is really defined by this
whole band,
particular band of conifers here. And it's part of what makes this park so special. It's a rarity today, a real museum piece to be able to see this vegetative transition, and here in Hubbard Park it's pristine.